New Age Wisdom presents The 9 Laws of Learning, written by Ison Ton, narrated by Anthony C. Catt. You become aware of your willpower the moment you know what your heart beats for. Author's Note: The 9 Laws of Learning came to me as I was developing my own system of numerology. For 2 years, I devoted a large amount of my time to study the art of numbers. As a result, I have acquired an in-depth level of understanding as never seen before that now allows me to explain the practical aspects of numerology to anybody, young and old, spiritual, or even non-spiritual. Upon achieving my goal to create a fully functional and relevant system in today's day and age, I realized that the next step would be to publish a book. The following pages will prepare you to understand that book. What is truly amazing, however, is that you are not required to have an understanding of numerology to understand these laws, though having a rough knowledge of each number will surely help. Introduction. Do you naturally enjoy learning, or do you wish you could find a way to better learn without all the distractions? Maybe you have been looking around for a way to improve your work ethic, or maybe you simply enjoy interesting new reads. Whatever your case, the 9 laws of learning, which are drawn from the ancient metaphysical science known as numerology, offer straightforward and no-nonsense pieces of wisdom, guaranteed to help improve your learning ability. The 9 laws are introduced in the first half of this document as the following: the law of experience, the law of anticipation, the law of playfulness, the law of repetition, the law of exhaustion, the law of comfort, the law of precision, the law of choosing, and the law of trust. The second half is more like a bonus, where I explain you the 9 approaches that will help you deepen your understanding of these 9 laws. The 9 approaches are the following: power through, find support, explain it, make it exciting, make yourself at home, be temporarily antisocial, make it worthwhile, and become what you learn. In terms of usefulness, the 9 laws of learning will benefit anyone seeking to become more grounded, practical, and focused. The information is direct and simple. Therefore, approach it lightly and casually, just as if you were reading the newspaper. Do not sweat the details and simply enjoy the read to the best of your ability. Whenever the occasion arises, talk of these laws with a friend or a family member. Ask them which law resonates most with them. Make conversation. Connect. In my opinion, the best way to learn anything is to introduce fun and creativity into the process. Familiarize yourself with the content herein and begin to reap real-life benefits for your long-term goals of personal development. Chapter 1. The 9 Laws of Learning. 1. The Law of Experience. I wanted to see what it was like, so I walked the talk. Now, I can tell you with confidence whether I enjoyed or hated the experience. Have you heard the proverb, "Don't judge a man until you've walked a mile in his shoes"? Or the modern expression, "You know my name, but not my story." The law of experience encourages you to go out into the world and confront life firsthand to get an authentic feel of what you desire to go through physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It teaches you to quickly recognize what you like and what you hate, and it propels you towards what you know will definitely make you grow. Determine what you want to experience and make a run for it. Notice how good it feels whenever you mentally tell yourself, "Been there, done that." Endeavor to engage your learning with purpose and walk the talk until the very end. When you align with the law of experience, you develop your sense of achievement and shape your individuality. 2. The law of anticipation. When confused, I turn off my thinking mind and listen to my gut feeling. Does it feel right, or does it feel wrong? I trust that the answer will eventually come to me. The law of anticipation encourages you to align with your sensitivity and intuition. When you focus more on your gut feeling and start paying attention to what feels right, you allow the natural occurrence of life to steer you towards the right type of learning that is made just for you. Prevent yourself from becoming overwhelmed by your thinking mind by practicing breathing techniques, do some yoga, or follow up on your workout session with meditation and allow yourself to become familiar with your intuitive mindset. Train this habit and your gut feeling will surely become adept at attracting all the right learning at the right time. When you align with the law of anticipation, you turn down what doesn't feel right and let your inner voice say yes to the things that do. 3. The law of playfulness. Whatever it is, I approach it casually, for now is not the time to overthink. No need to focus on my inner feelings nor my thoughts at this very moment. My curious and creative mind alone suffice to bring me joy. For your mind to execute something well, it must be void of all concerns. Concerns and worries dismantle the fun in anything, especially in learning. Have you ever noticed how good you are when you just wing it without giving it a single thought? This is because you actually allow your mind to focus on the execution of the action rather than telling it to analyze the action, which is counterproductive. Before you do anything, close your eyes and visualize yourself excelling at what you're about to learn. Most importantly, see yourself having fun doing it. Fun prevents nervousness and stress, which are the killers to a sound and functional brain. Notice how your body feels right now and allow the tension around your shoulders to ease and disappear. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that life is your own playground. Now, wear a confident smile and wing it. When you align with the law of playfulness, your mind becomes more curious and creative during the learning curve, and this becomes your habit. Allow yourself to be amazed at how much fun you can have each time you experience new learning. 4. The law of repetition. First, I focus on the mechanics of the task at hand. Then, I try to understand how everything works. Once I get it down perfectly, as a muscle memory, then and only then can I ease my mind back into thoughts and daily daydreaming. Or else it's like doing two things at once, and that is simply too confusing for me. Have you ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect? The law of repetition encourages the traditional route of learning. There is a reason why we were all taught as children to learn through repetition, because it works. It is said that the average person needs 21 days until what they are learning becomes part of their long-term memory. Whenever you tackle learning through repetition, diligence is the key to your success. So before you sit down to learn, plan what you will be doing. Organize the area and take away any potential distractions. By knowing exactly what you will do from A to Z, your mind is less likely to become overwhelmed and discouraged. When you align with the law of repetition, avoid daydreaming, as you will need to focus your mind strictly on understanding the mechanics of your routine. When you make this into your habit, you cultivate a more down-to-earth character and develop reliability. 5. The Law of Exhaustion. First, I empty my thoughts and focus on my 5 senses. For through inner silence, everything comes alive, including myself. I know whenever I am breathing, and I know whenever I am smelling something and hearing something, and I know that the ground under my feet remains under me. As I inhale and exhale, I realize how quickly that brings me back to the present. Then I start noticing the colors, the movements, and I let my eyes wander naturally and be inspired by the life around me. Sometimes you just know when you haven't done enough or given your 100%. The law of exhaustion speaks of committing all 5 senses to your learning. To learn something and do it properly, you must be willing to forget the notion of time and throw yourself off the bridge, so to speak. Be there in energy and presence and exhaust yourself in the process. If you hold back, it will be like starting a workout regime half-heartedly and going only halfway through, just because you didn't feel it. The key here is to end up feeling completely depleted mentally, physically, or emotionally. Once you have exceeded yourself, stop and be amazed at how much you've learned. Make it your new habit to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. When you align with the law of exhaustion, you get used to taking more risks, and that allows you to outgrow your limitations. 6. The law of comfort. That which makes me smile, act, and talk as if I was once again a child. That which lights up my eyes with sparkles and warms my heart. That which gives me shivers or makes me sweat just because I care and worry too much. All of that and more is an indication that my heart is being way too involved. Now I allow myself to pull back and breathe a little. It is never comfortable when you learn something new. It defies your existing values and challenges what you believe in. It stretches you away from your mental comfort zone and induces fear. Your mind then finds reasons to validate your objection to learning. Set your level of mental satisfaction higher than what your mind is used to. Crave learning as you would crave for food, and become satisfied only after you have put in some work. Find new creative ways to become comfortable while you are learning, so you can minimize the disruption of peace in mind, heart, and body. When you align with the law of comfort, you naturally know how to make yourself at home, no matter where learning takes place. 7. The law of precision. No matter what the subject is, I know very well how to investigate below the surface level. As if being a detective, I am not afraid to ask who, what, why, when, where, and how. If there is something that I don't understand, I go learn it or have someone teach it to me. Life is about learning, and to learn with precision is the secret to opening all doors. To know something well is to know it with precision. That is when the law of precision comes into play. Learning what you are taught alone is not enough. Make it a habit for your mind to connect the dots. Go out of your way to dig for information below the surface level and use what you understand to improve your learning ability. Explore the 5 W's: who, what, why, when, where, and how. Conduct research from every angle until you know everything with precision. As you do these things, you naturally strengthen your critical thinking skills. When you align with the law of precision, you give yourself the right tools to become a true specialist of your chosen field. 8. The law of choosing. An opportunity exists when I recognize it. Without proper recognition, I fail to seize it. To seize an opportunity is to choose and make the right decision that I know will benefit me, either in the short term or in the long run. In order to reap the benefits of learning, first recognize what is worth your time. But before that, become aware of what makes you unique. The law of choosing speaks of recognition and the importance of giving yourself credit. Sit down with a pen and paper and list 10 things that make you great. Know this to prevent yourself from settling for less than you deserve. To make use of what you have is the most important piece of advice to truly experience this law. You are guaranteed to get what you know you deserve by first experiencing things that you think you deserve. If you do not know what you deserve, then simply experience what you know will be good for you in the long run. Do this for a month or two and assess whether or not what you are doing is worth maintaining. If the choices you made are not empowering you in any way, stop everything, change gears, and start in a new direction. When you align with the law of choosing, you strengthen self-love, cultivate ambition, and allow yourself to get in touch with your willpower. 9. The law of trust. All great achievements known to man were born from great trust. Whether what I trust are my own skills, a higher power, or simply my duty to perform, to trust the process means that I shift from feeling self-defeated to feeling victorious. And when I do, I become a vessel to my higher self. Through this law, you are asked to let go of all reasons why you think it cannot be done. Awaken to your ideals. Allow yourself to trust the process until completion. Dare to be unrealistic and visualize within your mind's eye your desired outcome. Imagine what it feels like to succeed. Make it a habit to tune into your positive mindset for at least 5 minutes every morning when you wake up. Trust that your vision is real and simply be expectant during the learning process. When you align with the law of trust, you strengthen your sense of hope and develop belief, much needed in times when learning becomes a burden. Chapter 2. The 9 Approaches. How you learn depends greatly on your personality. Although we were all taught in school the standard approach to learning, which is from bottom to top, the truth is we all have our own style. Some learners, for example, enjoy learning with periods of rest in between. Some others, on the other hand, do much better when they are given space and privacy to focus. Some enjoy learning in groups, and some even enjoy learning while being nestled in their favorite chair. So on and so on. When you allow yourself to think outside the box, you can come across so many ways to accommodate your learning experience. In this chapter, you will be introduced to 9 approaches that will help you whenever you feel the need to improve your learning habits. Feel free to test them and combine them to make your own. Approach number 1. Power through. Set a timer to give yourself a sense of urgency. This approach emphasizes your fight or flight instincts. To learn or to fail, to win or to lose. There is only one answer, and of course, the answer is to learn and win. If you are someone who easily becomes worried when learning, there is a chance you might be overthinking it. Tap into your natural instinct and focus on accomplishing one thing at a time. This approach promotes the tunnel vision mindset, while it discourages multitasking. Be it 10 pages of text manual, a new language, or whatever it is you need to learn. Power through it as if your life is on the line. The key here is to keep moving forward and avoid stalling. If you have a lot of information to retain, go over the whole content to get a general idea of each section. Then go back to the beginning to start over. Focus on each section one at a time. This approach helps anyone who has difficulty getting started but has no problem keeping the ball rolling once they get momentum. Approach number 2. Find support. Do you know someone who has the ability to motivate or inspire you to learn? Who is the first person that crosses your mind? It can either be a friend, a tutor, a coach, or even your neighbor. Take a moment to think about such a person. There's always someone you can reach out to if you give it some thought. Try to imagine how they would approach things themselves if they were you. If you are the type of person who lacks assertiveness and depends on guidance, tapping into someone's positive attitude can help you develop more successful habits. Ideally, you would want to be around them during your learning process. That way they can help you when you get stuck. Pick up the phone, dial a number, get an approval, and make it happen. Regardless of what you're trying to learn, it will all suddenly seem easier once you decide to take that one single step forward to find support. Approach number 3. Explain it. Albert Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself." Whenever you get your mind off the details and focus on expressing yourself, just for the sake of it, you will realize how much you actually know. Make it a habit to explain what you've learned to a friend. Make a point. Allow your mind to quickly find ways to rearrange your thoughts so it can become clear not only to your listener, but also to yourself. Just allow your mind to relax and trust your power of expression. Like a child, dare to be creative and don't be ashamed if you lose your trail of thoughts. As you make it a habit to explain things to others, you reinforce the bridge between your conscious and subconscious mind, making it easier for your thoughts to turn into words. Approach number 4. Make a commitment. Some individuals just need to slow down and make a commitment. Before you start your day, do a brief 10 minutes of meditation to get yourself in the right mindset. Make it a habit to deepen your breath and ground yourself. Staying grounded is the beginning to any kind of commitment. Progress will seem slow and dull, but to approach learning progressively in a step-by-step fashion has always been the most reliable and effective way to learn. Adopt this approach and you are guaranteed to have a solid and reliable stepping stone to fall back on if ever anything were to happen. Approach number 5. Make it exciting. The idea of being glued to a chair for hours with your toes going numb and your brain overloading beyond capacity is terrifying, and it can prevent you from learning truly wonderful things. But who says learning has to be a dreadful experience? Sure, that's the traditional way of going about it, but really, if you don't like how something is done, do it differently. Make learning exciting by coming up with new ways, involve others, and make the whole process much more interactive. If your learning involves memorizing, for instance, set a timer and challenge yourself to memorize portion by portion within a certain time frame. Tell yourself that if you fail, you will have to do 10 push-ups. You can also record lectures and listen to them on your earphones when you're on the go. Sometimes all you really need is to get your limbs moving to prevent yourself from falling asleep. Go for a walk around the block, or go do some chores when your eyes start to become drowsy. If this is your preferred method of learning, multitasking may just be your way of showing that you are being productive. Approach number 6. Make yourself at home. Indulge yourself while learning. By that, I do not necessarily mean just with food. Believe it or not, making yourself feel at home is actually an art that can immensely help your learning experience. Having a nice pillow to lean on or a really comfortable chair to sit in can change the whole learning process from dreadful to enjoyable. Set the right atmosphere. Do you like lights to be dim or bright? Or do you prefer natural light? Burning incense or playing relaxing music in the background also helps. How about decorating your learning space or painting the walls? Whatever you intend to do, make it feel cozy and personal so that the place actually feels like your home. Think outside the box. Study on a massage chair if you happen to have one. Though that might be overdoing it, you can literally do anything that comes to mind. Allow yourself to take your learning personally. Think of yourself as a movie director. You have control of the set and you are to determine the overall mood of the scene within which you will become the main protagonist. When learning becomes a priority, the sky is the limit. Approach number 7. Be temporarily antisocial. Peace. You need it, and space too. You want perfect silence and serenity. It is almost as if you need a shrine all to yourself, a place where you know you will not be disturbed nor distracted by anyone. It must be a place that will make you forget about time. Learning is very much like a ritual, which should take place somewhere only you know. Pick a location because it means something to you and only you. This will encourage you to return there more often to reconnect with the meaning of the place. Adopt this approach to understand the importance of privacy, and whenever you know, you can no longer procrastinate. Approach number 8. Make it worthwhile. Learning is powerful when you know the benefits. Practice visualization and make it a habit to imagine what it would feel like to have what you desire. This will naturally give you strength to overcome adversity. Why is it worth your time? What is the ultimate goal to your learning? What are the long-term benefits? Figure it all out. Is it to become financially stable? To build your social network? Or is it to further your career? Some people just hate wasting time and would despise the idea of learning for no reason. Most of the time, learning is not much of a choice. Understand the value of what you are doing first, then concentration will happen naturally. Find out what your heart beats for, and you will do whatever it takes to keep going. Do it for your relationship, your family, your career, or simply do it for yourself. Remember, the results of your learning must be lucrative to you in some way, and this approach teaches you to specifically recognize value in what you are learning. Approach number 9. Become what you learn. Learning is easiest when you approach it without judgment, labels, or preconceptions. When you simply submerge yourself in it with passion and forget yourself completely. Sometimes that is all you really need to learn successfully. To empty your mind and become a blank canvas, so to speak. Make it a habit to sit outside and watch people go about their lives. Free yourself from all thoughts and enjoy the feeling of being carefree. Realize that you are connected to your higher mind by paying attention to the good vibes surrounding you. If you have a chance, enroll in a meditation course. Learn to raise your awareness beyond flesh and bone, just so you can feel how very much alive you are in spirit. When you adopt this approach, you are telling your subconscious mind that you are done with your self-defeating beliefs, and no matter what, you are fully ready to devote yourself to your learning. Conclusion. The process of learning something new is either tedious or exciting. At the end of the day, it's all about perspective. The truth is, there is no fixed method or guaranteed formulas that will teach anyone to learn anything perfectly. Everyone is different, and because of that, not everyone will use the same approach. Be yourself and allow yourself to experience learning beyond your own comfort zone. Turn weakness into strength. Utilize the 9 laws of learning and adopt the right mindset. You need to learn accordingly. While school teaches only the basics of learning, the real journey of knowledge only begins when you decide to seek learning for yourself. And that is through endless trial and error and personal life experience. I hope you enjoyed reading this document and that it has helped you become more aware of your learning faculties. Now is the time for you to go out in the world and learn something fearlessly. This has been a New Age Wisdom. Presents The 9 Laws of Learning. Written by Ison Ton. Narrated by Anthony C. Catt. Copyright 2017 by Ison Ton. Production copyright 2017 by Ison Ton.